I continue by going over the lesson 15 vocabulary and exercises, and then we'll go on to do some drilling on pronominal suffixes on singlet nouns. Bahar means to choose or select, and one thing to note about this word is that objects of the verb are marked by ba rather than direct object marker et. So if you want to say he chose me, you'd say bahar bi, using ba to mark the me. Ba with a pronominal suffix is how you would do that. Or if you chose the man, it would be bahar ba'ish, that kind of thing. And then you have avad, another verb. He worked or he served. It's related to eved, servant or slave. El is a common Semitic word for God. You have it in Akkadian, Ilu. It's related to Allah in Arabic. But anyway, it's either God, capital G, or little g, God. Etymologically, it's related to strength, so strong one he throws in as a possible gloss, so rarely is that going to be your translation. With suffixes, it shows up as Ali, my God, or Eli, as opposed to Eli unto me. So those two are kind of confusable. So don't confuse Ali, my God, with Eli unto me. Usually context will make that clear. Then he gives you banot, which is the irregular plural of bat. And so since it's irregular, he gives it to you as a separate vocabulary item. Hayim is life. Maybe you're familiar with the movie Fiddler on the Roof, or the play, where they say to life, l'chayim, and preposition la plus hayim. But anyway, life is a plural of abstraction. Notice that the noun is always plural, but it doesn't mean anything plural, but it's the abstraction of life, or it can mean in certain cases a lifetime. The construct is haye, and with the suffix it would be hayai. My life would be hayai. Haye would be life of. Yod is related to the Hebrew letter yod, slightly different pronunciation, pronouncing the yod as a kamat satuf, I suppose. But anyway, yod is the word for hand, and yadayim means a pair of hands, and yaday is the plural construct, hands of, the construct of the dual. Yerushalayim is Jerusalem. Usually it's written without the yod. Occasionally the yod shows up, but usually written without the yod, which is probably a telltale sign that originally it didn't have the yod. That the original pronunciation would have been closer to Yerushalayim, but then over time they got to pronouncing it Yerushalayim rather than Yerushalayim. But anyway, it actually goes back to Akkadian, where it was Uru, which is Akkadian, Sumerian for city, and Shalem, which would be related to peace. So it was city of peace, as the writer of Hebrews points out. And so anyway, it came to be pronounced over time, instead of Urushalem, it became Yerushalayim. The word all or every is kol, spelled either with a holum or a kamat satuf. In either case, it's pronounced kol. And with suffixes, the lamed ends up being doubled, and the o vowel goes to a short u. So if you say all, then it's kol or kol. But if you say all of them, it would be kulam, or all of us is kulanu. It'll build off, put the suffixes on the kul stem. O's and U's can interchange in the Hebrew language. Pei means mouth. It could also mean edge or opening. So the edge of something can be said to be the mouth of it idiomatically. And then in construct it shows up as P, which is actually the same form as the suffix form. So P could either be construct, mouth of, but P by itself could mean my mouth. The plural is feminine looking, piyot. And then finally some prepositions. You have acharei, which is after or behind. And then you have ba'ene, which is really a compound word. It's preposition ba plus the word in the plural dual construct. So the dual construct of in is ene, and you add the ba to it, so ba'ene is literally in the eyes of, but it can be used metaphorically in the opinion of. And then chai is related to hayim, life. It's the adjective, alive or living, often used in oaths. So if you swear chai Adonai, it means by the life of the Lord, or as the Lord lives, and that's an oath formula, meaning as the Lord lives to punish me if I'm lying to you, I'm telling the truth, that kind of thing. Another preposition is tachat, under, or another meaning is instead of, under or instead of. So that's that. Your exercises will have you practice putting suffixes on the words, and mostly you need to just go through the chapter and look them up and write them down. And then he gives you some read aloud and translate. We will do the first one. It says, Iman elav malak Adonai, Shmo Immanuel. And that means, he said to him, but the he is malak Adonai, the angel of the Lord said to him, Shmo, which is shame plus suffix o, his name is, has to be supplied, Immanuel, or the interpretation of that name is El, or God, is with us, Immanu. Now, for the rest of our time, I'd like to drill down on suffixes on sigilate nouns, just so that you get used to recognizing those, just as we did a drill on horse and mare in the previous lesson. So what I'm going to do is go through each one of these, and we will identify what form is there. And if we have time, we'll go through it a second time a little more quickly, and you can go back through this recording repeatedly as a way of helping yourself to memorize these forms. So the first one is Malkeinu. That would be Melech plus nu, our king. Then you have Malke. That's actually the construct form, kings of, again building off of the Malk thing. Then you have Melakim. That's simply the plural absolute, kings. Then you have Malko. That would be his king. Then you have Malkehem. That's the plural noun kings. Notice the yod that shows up before the suffix. Kings of them, their kings. Then you have Malachi, which is my kings, plural. Notice the patah here. You put the patah and the yod on as a first common singular suffix on plural nouns. So that's my kings as opposed to my king, which will be coming up in number 10. And then Malakenu is our kings. Again, the yod is an indication of the plural, so it's Malakenu, our kings. And then Malkam is their king singular, they being a masculine plural they. And then Malko would be his king. And then Malki would be my king. Again, note the difference between Malki, my king, and Malachi, my kings. And then Melech can be interpreted two ways, either as an absolute king or as a construct, king of. And then Malakeha is, again, notice the yod has to be a plural word for king. That would be her kings. And then Malkah, that would be her king singular. And then Malka with a vowel letter hey, as opposed to a mapik, indicating that it's a consonant hey. That's actually a different word, queen. And then Malakot, that would be kings. Oh, so excuse me, that would be queens. That would be queens. And then Malkek, that would be your feminine singular king. And then Malkakem, that would be you guys' king. And then Malkaka, that would be your masculine singular, your king. And then Malkek, that would be your feminine singular king, which happens to be the same as 16. And then 20 is Malkakem, that would be you guys' king, which is also the same as 17. And then Malkakem is your kings. Notice the yod that shows up in the plural form. I should have pointed out that our king, Malkenu, is somewhat similar to Malakenu, though the differences in the yod and somewhat differences in vowels shows the distinction. Well, let's go through it again, try to be a little quicker about it. Malkenu, our king. Malke, kings of. Malakim, kings. Malko, his king. Malkehem, their masculine plural kings. Malachi, my kings plural. Malakenu is our kings plural. Malkam is their king. Malko is his king. Malki is my king. Melech is either king or king of. Malakeha is her kings plural. Malka is her king. Malka with a vowel letter hey is queen. Malakot is queens. Malkek is your feminine singular king. Malkakem is you masculine plural king. Then Malkaka is your king, masculine singular. Malkek is your feminine singular king. Malkakem is you masculine plural, your king. And then Malkakem is your masculine plural, kings. Well, anyway, drill down on this, and then you'll know the form of the plural siglets.